And good morning to you. Welcome to Up to the Minute, your HCC news and information and much more coming up in the next half hour. And it's a special day here at HCC. We'll tell you more about that very shortly as well. But first, my co-host for the morning, Brittany Pacheco, joining us from this. It's a bit warm outside this morning, Brittany.
Yeah, it is a bit warm this morning, Todd. Good morning. And, you still wouldn't think about this type of weather last week, post-winter storm. It's just insane how much, fluctuation there is with Texas weather. Puxatawny, the groundhog, said 6 more weeks of winter. Texas said basically, hold my beer. I'm going to do that in 1 week.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. 2 days. I know. It was nuts.
Yeah, but before we get into today's show, I do just want to take a moment to remind everyone to take just a very brief moment to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't forget to head to our YouTube channel. Click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you can be the first to find out the latest uploads from us. And last but not least, to our audience as well as our guests, we would like your help to sharing this podcast on your personal news feed. So not only do we want to grow our audience, but more importantly, we just want to share this great information to those who may not be following us. So follow us on social media, YouTube, and don't forget to share this podcast in the bottom right of this post.
Thanks, Brittany. Stick around. We'll check in with you in just a little while. All right, let's get on with the show. Today's a very special day. We have a great event going on here. And as we're wrapping up Black History Month, today is the day of our Black History Scholarship Gala. We're doing things differently this year. It's virtual. It's online, happening later today. We'll talk more about that in a second. But we've got 2 guests today. Reginald Adams is a public artist here in Houston, and we're very pleased to have you with us. Reginald, good morning to you.
Good morning, and very glad to be with you all today. Thank you.
Reginald, you've got a number of pieces that you've got across the city, and a new one we're going to be talking about on Juneteenth. I'm very excited to speak about that, so stick around if you will. We'll be back with you in just a few moments. Our first guest, though, we always like to talk about student success stories here at HCC. And we've got Rolanda Myles. She is a student scholarship recipient of the 2021 HCC Black History Gala. She's joining us today, and I guess it's a very special day for you, Rolanda.
Yes, it is. Thank you for having me today.
And so I want to talk to you about the event we're having today. The Black History Committee has the gala happening this afternoon. Are you going to be taking part in that live? Maybe, are you watching it? How's that going to work?
Oh, well, I was lucky enough to be participating in the event, actually as one of the focus persons of interest there. So virtually, I will be represented, yes.
We're looking forward to having you here to tell us a bit about your background and how did you become a recipient of this scholarship?
Oh, well, I am a business student at HCC, and I decided to actually go back to pursue some business courses in order to get certification. And I just logged on to the HCC scholarship portal and applied for the Black History Scholarship because it matched my demographics. And to my surprise, I actually became a recipient. So I won the scholarship and I was very excited about it. And forever grateful for the opportunity to offset my tuition.
Tell us why you chose the business program at HCC.
Well, I chose the business program because I have years of experience in business. However, I did not have the actual formal education, and it was an opportunity for me to gain knowledge that has changed over the years, or just the latest and the newest trends in the business industry.
What does your future look like right now, and where do you plan to go when you're finished with your time here at HCC?
Well, actually, I plan to pay it forward. I plan to pursue social entrepreneurship, starting an organization that grooms little girls to go into business and to realize their leadership possibilities and capabilities at an early age, something that I didn't get to do.
And you started an
So, yes.
organization yourself?
Oh, I did. It's called Little Sister CEO, and it grooms girls through workshops, field trips, and just real life experiences to pursue entrepreneurship as a option.
You know, we look back over the last year, our lives changed dramatically in March of last year when we went into a virtual lockdown of the nation. During that time, our students went to virtual learning, and a lot of people lost their jobs during that time. A lot of businesses started losing income and revenue and may have stopped giving as much as they normally need. But in these times, maybe you can talk about how it's more important than ever to support our students with these scholarships, because I imagine students like yourself and many of our students who maybe have lost their jobs or their hours have been limited, they still need those funds so you can reach your educational goals.
Oh, yes. It made a tremendous difference for me. It helped to motivate me financially as well as just mentally, that there was a organization that believed in the same things that I believe in. So it's very important because I think just being quarantined made me realize that, okay, I can use this time to brush up on my skills and be better. So there's opportunity out there. We just need the support. So I'm forever grateful.
How was the transition to online learning for you?
For me, it was different. However, because I sort of do business in a virtual environment, I was easy to adjust very easily. All of the instructors that I've had were easily accessible, and there's a lot of interaction between the students as well as the instructors. And I was able to also be inducted into the National Honor Leadership Society.
Wow.
Because I was able to be very successful. So virtual learning for me, it worked out.
That sounds great. The event is happening today later, and if you're wondering where you can catch it, well, you can catch it here on Facebook Live. There are many platforms and across several pages. We'll have links in the social media post of the show for the gala, which is happening virtually, our first one ever, later this afternoon. For people who may be thinking, you know what, I might just tune in and donate some money, maybe you can give them your pitch on why this is so important. I mean, it's obviously helped you, and it's there to help our students.
Yes, definitely. It makes a difference. Donations make a difference. And I just can't wait to be on the other side where I'll definitely give back to this scholarship fund, because it made a difference at a time in my life where I didn't know what I was going to do. So, yes,
Rolanda
very
Myles,
important.
Yeah, Rolanda, congratulations once again on the scholarship, and best of luck to you in the future with your future endeavors. We look forward to seeing you as a proud HCC alum.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. Rolanda Myles joined us this morning. All right, folks, as we mentioned, the scholarship, the gala is happening later. 3 p.m. right here on Facebook Live. We'll have the link and all the information in the social media post for the show. All right, moving on to our next guest. We're going to be checking in now with Reginald Adams. He is a public artist. And Reginald, it's great to have you on the show. And you've been doing a lot of installations around the city of Houston, the Obama headquarters mural, the Emancipation Park monuments, and the most recently George Floyd I Can't Breathe mosaic. But you've just been commissioned to lead a crew down in Galveston. This sounds very exciting, and it's going to be for Juneteenth.
That's right. That's right. As you mentioned, we've been working for the past 25 years, spreading creative love across Houston through public art. And our next big project is in Galveston, and I'm really excited to get started on that, since it's such a historical moment in time for Black America.
You know, it certainly is. But I want to go back to your career. You said 25 years. That's quite a long time. Have you always wanted to be an artist since you were a youngster? Or when did that happen, and when did that change, and how did you get into it?
I was born into the arts. I was that little boy who loved to draw, who never grew up. And thanks to some very supportive parents and a circle of benefactors and patrons who really believed in my creativity. I have been fortunate for the last 25 years of my professional life to live off my creativity. And that's been my journey. And now it's really about, as the last guest mentioned, it's really about paying it forward and bringing other artists into opportunities that they otherwise wouldn't have through some of the networks that I've been able to create on my journey.
Well, you mentioned two things that struck me there, benefactors and patrons. And it seems like, a lot of our students are needing that assistance right now. That's, of course, why we're having the virtual gala this afternoon. But that was very successful in helping you in your career along the way, because all students really need some help at one time or another.
Oh, no question. I mean, a lot of times I get asked by parents and students and emerging artists, how do I get so many commissions and how do I stay so active? And what I share with them is it's really about your network. I was, smart enough to get connected to some really important business groups in Houston, like the American Leadership Forum, Leadership Houston, the Center for Houston's Future, Rotary International. These were all business networks that allowed me to befriend movers and shakers. And these people ended up becoming not only friends, but supporters of my work, even to this day.
You say that you use the community as your canvas. Maybe it's a fascinating term and way of doing things. Maybe you can talk to us about that.
Yeah, well, as many artists who work in the studio know, once you finish a work of art, it may go to an individual or business. And that small circle of folks who will see that painting on the wall is your exposure. And after my very first project, working with a group of kids on a mural at Moody Park Community Center, I realized that I actually loved a much broader audience. When I saw the entire community come out to celebrate the completion of that mural, I realized that was the path that I wanted to push my work towards. And over the past 25 years since that first project, we've created over 350 murals and sculptures all around the world, but mostly here in Houston. And I know now that's really the audience that I want to serve, is the general public.
Well, I was going to ask you that. It's much more rewarding to you to do public art as opposed to installations and selling privately?
Absolutely. The gratification comes in that there's no admission fee. You don't have to get dressed up. You don't have to come from a certain pedigree or understanding of art to appreciate a mural that's on the side of a building or on the side of a school or in a public park. And I love the idea of making art accessible to as many people as possible.
If someone's seeing your art, and this may be a personal thing or maybe an objective answer, what do you want them to take away from the murals and the installations that you have out there?
For folks to view my work, I really want them to be inspired. I want to lift their spirits. I want to put a smile on their face. Art speaks to all types of emotions, and the emotion that I'd like to evoke in my artwork is joy, happiness, inspiration. The world is full of enough darkness, and I want my artwork to be a bit of light in somebody's day when they get a chance to view it.
I know we talked about the Galveston project you have coming up. Let's talk about your future projects on the way.
Yeah, we have a pretty robust pipeline of projects this year. The Juneteenth Legacy Project is our very next major commission. We're also going to be working on a Spark Park at Reynolds Elementary School. We have some other projects that are going to come up. It's a little too soon for me to speak on them, but we're full to the end of the year and looking into 2022 already. So I'm really excited about what's in front of us.
Being an artist who gets out in public and works on your murals and your installations, what was it like for you going into lockdown, and how did you make it through that? Were you able to work privately, or were you able to get out in public and do some? How did that work for you?
Yeah, the COVID changed the world, as we all know. You'd have to be living under a rock to not have been affected by COVID-19 and how it impacted our social interactions. And being a public artist, it really caused me to innovate in how we worked with the community. Oddly enough, 2020 was our most successful year ever in my entire career. And I'm not sure what the ingredients were that created that environment, but we started the year with a really large mural for the University of Houston Graduate College of Social Work that took us through the better part of June. Then we worked on the George Floyd mural. We worked on a big mosaic commission for the city of Dallas. Then that parlayed us into some work with Foot Locker, work with Ben and Jerry's. And so 2020 was strange, but it was very busy. And I think the busyness kept me focused away from all of the anxiety that COVID brought to us and more on what brings me joy and passion, and that's the creative process.
You know, I was reading through the notes here and it talks about labyrinths and how they are important with your work. Maybe you can tell us about that because I find that interesting.
Yeah, well, so just for, those that are not familiar, labyrinths, not to be confused with a maze, are essentially a walking meditational path. And about 8 years ago, I was introduced to the labyrinth, had an opportunity to build one in Houston's historic 4th Ward with a group of high school kids. That launched an international company that we started where we were taking these kids from Houston to different countries, building labyrinths, like in Italy, and we built a labyrinth in France. We built a labyrinth in Ireland. We built a labyrinth in South Africa, and in most recently in Ecuador. And so it was a way for me to incorporate spirituality into my creative work, also feed my passion for empowering young people and traveling the world and meeting cool people. And so it was a very interesting juxtaposition of creativity and spirituality through public art.
You know, we have a very strong art program here at HCC, and I know many of our students may be watching going, wow, that sounds like a dream life. I'd love to be doing what you're doing right now.
It is a dream life.
Matt, it sounds that way. Maybe you can give us, our students, some advice on how they get to where you are.
I would say if you're an artist, if you know that that's your passion, I would say to any young artist, focus on your business. I meet some amazing artists who have horrible business skills, so they struggle. They have to do something else to support their artwork. So I would suggest strengthen your business acumen so that you can truly become the artist you want to be by living off your creativity. And that comes with some strong business skills. And that would be my advice to young emerging artists, is to really look at the business of your creativity.
So in other words, take those business skills, learn a little bit about marketing and everything else. You got to get out there. You can't just be creative. You have to also be a strong business person, from what you're saying.
Absolutely. Or unless you're going to have somebody do that business for you, which many don't have the luxury. So absolutely, those marketing classes, accounting classes, understanding contracts, understanding how to get out and speak for yourself, all become tools that will strengthen your ability to live off your artistry. That's been my journey.
It's some great advice for our students out there. Reginald, when you get to the Galveston installation and you get that up, we want to get you back on the show. And
I would love to come back, Todd.
Yeah, we get you back on the show. I want to get you live from Galveston in front of the installation and see you out there.
Let's make it happen, Todd.
All right, Reginald Adams, public artist, proud Houstonian. We're proud to have you here with us on this show.
It's been an honor to speak to your audience.
All right, we'll talk to you again soon. Thanks, Reginald.
Thank you, Todd.
All right, we're going to move on to Brittany Pacheco. Some fascinating guests this morning, Brittany.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, just hearing from Rolanda and then hearing from Reginald and checking out his labyrinth. I mean, Reginald, if you need an extra hand, hi, I'm available and love to travel, and I have a valid passport.
Hey, we're going to be building some labyrinths on the beach in Galveston when we're there for the Juneteenth mural. So I may be following up with you on that, Brittany.
That's cool, but anytime it's not in the United States, I'm down.
She's looking for international labyrinth help. So if you need any assistance, we'll get you, Brittany.
Hey, you get rid of this COVID issue and we'll be doing that.
Listen, if I could, I would. You know, I don't have the power yet. I'm trying. Oh, yeah. No, but it's really cool to hear from both of them and just
absolutely
hear them express themselves. It's fantastic.
Absolutely. So, Brittany, I know we're going to be giving the rundown of the events later today. 3:00 today is the Black History Scholarship Gala, and you'll have some information in the social media post for the show.
Yeah, definitely. So I am trying to find that in my script, but here we go. I know that it's also going to be available not only just on our district Facebook page, but click2houston.com.
Yeah. Yes,
because as audience should hopefully already know, that Cameron Marshall of KPRC Channel 2 will be the keynote speaker. So that's awesome.
Yeah, we had him on the show. I believe it was the week before the Snowmageddon struck Houston. All right, speaking of Snowmageddon, something more on a serious note, folks. Winter Storm Emergency Fund is available for our students. And Brittany, once again, the theme of the show today, our students need the help, whether it's through scholarships, but also emergency funds, and HCC's here for them.
Absolutely, Todd. So in the aftermath of Winter Storm Uri, the HCC Foundation has an emergency relief fund to provide financial assistance to our students, faculty, and staff facing economic uncertainty. So these funds will help pay for unexpected expenses for their basic needs, such as food, housing, and access to technology. If you are in need of help, please visit our website. But if you don't, and you are able to help others in our HCC family who are struggling to rebuild their lives in the aftermath of the winter storm, check your HCCS emails to contribute. We'll also have a link to that in this post. 100% of all donations will be dedicated to assisting HCC students and employees.
Winter Storm Uri. The first time I heard that was when I read it in the script yesterday for today's notes.
Oh, Todd, I'm a little disappointed.
I was kind of unplugged a lot of last week, but I didn't.
That's fair.
Not even on Facebook did I see people calling it Winter Storm Uri.
I did hear it on the news at one point. So
didn't watch the news last week.
Well, that's fair.
Sorry.
That's fair.
Lucky you. All right, deadline for is coming up for the Hispanic Internship Program. The deadline is February 26th, and looking at my watch, that's tomorrow, folks. The Hispanic Association of Colleges and Universities seeking applicants for a 2021 National Internship Program. This program offers valuable work experience through paid internships at federal agencies and private corporations nationwide. You can apply online at hacu.net/HNIP. Yes, we will have that link in this post. February's free groceries, Brittany, is coming up.
It is. And it's just so timely, Todd, after the winter storm. So registration is still taking place at Houston Food Bank's Community Health Market Trailers, formerly known as the Eagle Mobile Food Market, which will be at multiple HCC campuses throughout February, or what's left of February. All HCC community members can sign up to receive free groceries. Just pick the campus, date, and time you would like to pick up food. If you have any questions about this student life project, contact hcc.cares@hcs.edu. We'll be sure to have that email in the description.
So ideas pitch competition. We've talked about it in this show, had folks on the topic to discuss it. It's been all over social media, but the popular Entrepreneurial Initiatives competition returns this spring. HCC students can share their creative ideas and innovations for sustainability and societal needs. Individuals or teams can pitch a product or service. Entries must be submitted through April the 30th. For more information, go to hccs.edu/pitch.
Yep, that's right. So we are going to talk fast track training for free. HCC has free training to get you in and out and into a high demand job if you qualify. From air conditioning to cybersecurity to logistics to welding. I'm also going to throw in there about plumbing and becoming an electrician, because that's really needed at this point. Go to our website and search fast track training. We will have that link in our post after the show. And I can't stress enough, everyone, to have that skill in HVAC, plumbing, electrician, all that. Houston is in need of it, and you can make bank. Let's just face the reality of it.
Yeah, I was watching a news report the other day, and I think one of the plumbing and electrical services, they were saying they'd gotten 19,000 requests. You think that on a company like that, that's just overloaded. Obviously, they don't have the personnel to handle those requests. They couldn't even take all the phone calls. So what's happening is we're bringing in people from all across the country. People are coming here and to sustain their business by making some money, but also to help us get back online. Because you talk to everybody. I talk to people daily who were telling me they got broken their pipes in their house. A friend of mine still didn't have water yesterday. It's just, it's going to take us a long time to recover. And those skilled trade positions, the type of workers that we turn out on a daily basis here at HCC, they've got a bright future, and extremely busy time for the next several months.
Absolutely. And I'm going to apply what Reginald said about an artist wanting to sustain themselves, learn business. The same goes for these other skilled labor professions in plumbing and electricians and HVAC personnel. You can be your own independent company, if you will, and just learn the skill, learn the business, and market yourself to someone who can, help people in need.
That's exactly right. Okay, students, right now we know spring semester is well underway. Second Start is finally underway. But if you are looking at signing up for our next round of courses, we got the 8-week session coming up, there are payment plans available. Payment plans, scholarships, tuition assistance, all that's available, but you have to go and check it out. So go to our website, go to the financial aid page, and you can go over all of your options. And if you're looking to register for the 8-week session, I think they can go to one website to do it, Brittany.
They can, Todd, and that website is hccs.edu/now. So not only are we going to have our second 8-week classes beginning shortly, we're also going to have our third 4-week classes starting. So if you're into, jam-packed, accelerated, but want to get that course out of the way, this is going to be right up your alley. So once again, that website is hccs.edu/now. Be sure to register early so you can get the classes that you need, the type of method that you want. Right now, we're very limited to mostly just online, 100% online courses, with the exception of some lab-based courses that are meeting in person. But once again, be sure to register early in order to secure those classes.
So, who's going to return to the show tomorrow?
Tell him, Todd.
Dr. Jimmy Adams, our resident poet. So he'll have a great piece of poetry to honor the last day of Black History Month. Also, he is the college operations officer for HCC Northeast College. So we're going to get an update as to what happened out there at HCC Northeast. I do know that several of our buildings have had some damage, and that's being addressed right now. That's the reason why we didn't open up on Monday and Tuesday. So keep that in mind, but we'll get an update on HCC Northeast, and it's Film Fridays tomorrow.
Yeah, so Film Fridays, we'll be joined with Marion Lentz of the Museum of Fine Arts Houston Film Department and its virtual cinema offerings. Now, Todd, have you partaken in any MFA cinema screenings?
I did many years ago. I really can't tell you what movie it was. It was a foreign film, but it was, had to have been at least 15 years ago. But I had a membership to the MFAH at times, and I would go there. I just hadn't been to the film deal. So now I guess I imagine they're offering them virtually because the theater's probably not open.
That's the way to go these days. I mean, I know movie theaters are trying to come back saying like, hey, this movie's going to premiere in theaters, but it's also going to be on a streaming platform. So, that's probably the way of the future, truthfully.
Yeah. And here's the deal right now, but I hate to say it. Okay, so my wife yesterday, she's like, you want to go to the movies this weekend? So look at River Oaks Theaters and then look at one of the other, I think Cinemark. And I looked through everything. Not a thing that I really want to see, Brittany. Not a thing. And I said, yeah, that just none of that works for me. But I imagine some of them may be good movies, but yet the problem I'm having right now is they're a lot of movies, they're holding off the releases at this time. So it's hard for them to find material.
Yeah, they are. I know one movie that myself and my colleagues, the watchers, we're just going to leave it at that. We were really looking forward to seeing Black Widow, which is part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That kept getting
like a year and a half ago.
Exactly. And that has been pushed back twice to my knowledge. It's supposed to come out in May this year, but we'll see.
Whatever.
Give me Black Widow.
Well, look at the James Bond film. That James Bond was supposed to come out last March. Then Thanksgiving. Now it's, I think, the end of this year. So yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, it's Film Fridays tomorrow, and that'll be interesting. And also, Frank Cooper returns from vacation tomorrow.
Francois Cooper.
Yeah.
I don't know why I like saying his name like that. It's just fun.
I'll run that by him tomorrow, see what he has to say.
Oh, he's good with it.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, Brittany, thanks for being here. We'll see you next week.
All right. And everyone, once again, don't forget to follow us on social media, YouTube, and don't forget to share this podcast.
We will see you all tomorrow, though. Friday edition of Up to the Minute Live, 10 a.m.